Most people don't wake up one day and randomly decide where they're going to live. They start with an idea, a feeling, a maybe. They watch a few videos, they scroll, and then they start to compare. And somewhere along the way, something clicks. Well, what's interesting is when buyers finally reach out to me, they're not usually asking if they should move here. They're asking how to do it the correct way so they don't fall for the mistakes that others have made. And that's because watching these videos doesn't hype people up. It clears things up, and that's exactly the way that I want them. So in this video, I want to explain why so many buyers choose this area after watching my channel, what they're actually learning, what changes in their thinking, and why clarity beats pressure every single time. Now, if you've been watching for a while, this is going to make a lot of sense. And if you're new here, this will probably explain why you're still watching. Hi everyone, my name is Thiel. I'm a local real estate agent right here on the Treasure Coast. And if you're looking to find out more information about a possible move to my area out here serving Stuart, Palm City, Jensen Beach, Port St. Lucie, and the surrounding areas, welcome to my channel. If you've been here for a while, please think about subscribing, as it really helps me and the algorithm. And plus, you stay abreast of everything that's going on here on the Treasure Coast. I have recently been nominated by Realtor as the top 1.5% agents in all of the United States, not just in Florida. So I love what I do. I have a passion what I do of helping people buy and sell right here on the Treasure Coast. So if that sounds like something you like, make sure you subscribe. So why do people relocate here after watching my channel? Well, it's simple. There's a few points. Point number one, they stop guessing and start seeing the area clearly. They just simply stop guessing. Most people don't start their relocation journey confused about Florida. They're confused about where in Florida. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. When I moved here 14 years ago, I knew I was going to move to Florida, but I didn't know where. I literally was searching from the Panhandle all the way down to Key West, and I keep coming back to Martin County, St. Lucie County, in this Treasure Coast area. And the reason is because I did a lot of research. And in these videos, I'm giving you guys the research that nobody gave me, so that way when you make your educated decisions, you know exactly what you should do and what pitfalls to avoid. When you Google or scroll Zillow, everything starts to blend together. Palm trees start looking the same. Listing photos all look the same. Every place claims to be minutes from the beach and perfect for families. It honestly gets a little tiring, but none of that gives you context. What buyers really need isn't more listings, it's more clarity. When someone watches these videos, they start to understand how the area actually works. They learn which neighborhoods feel quiet versus active, which areas make sense for families, which are better for retirees, and which are lifestyle driven versus purely residential. And trust me, all these make a huge difference. Instead of guessing based on headlines or price points, they start forming real opinions. And once that happens, decision making gets dramatically easier. Most buyers, like yourself, don't need convincing, they need clarity. Point number two, they learn the pros and cons, which builds real trust. Now here's something that most people don't realize. Talking about downsides does not hurt. It creates trust. Perfect places, they just simply don't exist. And you, as buyers, know that. So when someone hears honest conversations about traffic or insurance costs, heat, hurricane preparation, or why a certain neighborhood isn't for everyone, it instantly lowers their guard. They stop thinking, well, what's being hidden, and start thinking, you know what? This feels really real. Psychologically, this matters. Research and trust in decision making consistently shows that transparency, especially acknowledging trade-offs, increases credibility and reduces buyer anxiety. That's why buyers often say, you talked about things that nobody else mentioned. They don't feel sold, they feel informed, and informed buyers make confident decisions. I've had numerous real estate agents reach out to me on my YouTube channel and say, you really shouldn't say that on your videos. It's painting this area as a bad area. It's not painting it as a bad area. I'm just being real and honest about what that area holds, and you as a buyer can make a decision whether or not that's a right fit for you or not a right fit for you. It truly is that simple. Point number three, they start understanding neighborhoods and not just cities. Now, another huge shift happens when buyers stop thinking in terms of cities and start thinking in terms of neighborhoods. City level searches are almost useless for relocation. Two different neighborhoods a mile apart can feel like completely different lifestyles. One might be quiet, family focused, and tucked away. Another might be walkable, social, and close to everything. On this channel, buyers don't just hear this city is great, they learn why neighborhoods work for certain people and not for others. That saves them months of trial and error and often thousands and thousands of dollars in mistakes. They're no longer choosing a location, they're choosing a fit for them and what they want. Now, point number four, they can picture their own life here, which is called the visualization effect. One of the most powerful things video does, and most people don't even realize this, is visualization. When buyers watch these videos, they're not just learning facts, they're mentally walking through their own own future routines. I can see myself waking up and going here. I can see myself going to this beach. They picture morning coffee, weekend plans, school drop-offs, beach days, or quiet evenings. They can actually visualize themselves having these now. This matters because visualization reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is what stalls decisions. Behavioral psychology shows that when people can clearly imagine an outcome, they feel more comfortable committing to that said outcome. That's why I often hear buyers say, it already felt familiar the minute we visited. They didn't just learn about the area, they experienced it mentally before they actually arrived. Point number 5, they feel educated, not sold to. Now listen, this is a big one. Buyers today, like yourself, are highly resistant to pressure. The moment something feels salesy, the defense mechanisms go up. But education feels safe. Instead of being told what to do, buyers are learning how to think about the decision. They're understanding cost, structures, lifestyle trade-offs, neighborhood dynamics, and long-term considerations. All these are huge factors. This creates autonomy, and autonomy accelerates decisions. People don't move faster when they're pressured. They move faster when they're confident. That's why this approach works, and it works for most people. Point number 6, they trust the messenger, not just the message. Another reason buyers choose this area after watching my channel is familiarity. There's something called the mere exposure effect. It's a psychological principle that says the more familiar something feels, the more we trust it. When buyers, like yourself, watch multiple videos, they hear the same voice, the same style, and notice consistent messaging. When buyers watch multiple of my videos, they hear my same voice, they see the same style, and notice the consistent messaging. Over time, this creates comfort. That's why people often say, I feel like I already know you. It happens all the time, and the other thing I always get is, I thought that you would be much taller in person. This isn't built in one video, it's built through consistency, and consistency is key. By the time buyers reach out, they're not just starting from zero, they already trust the process and know a little bit about what they're going to expect. That's a huge thing. Point number 7, they make better decisions faster. When buyers are educated, something interesting happens. They don't necessarily rush, but they stop hesitating. They know what they want, almost more important, they know what they don't want, they understand pricing, and they understand the trade-offs. That eliminates decision fatigue, and trust me, decision fatigue is so incredibly time consuming. Instead of second guessing every home or every neighborhood, they can quickly say, yes, that fits, or no, that doesn't. That leads to fewer regrets, fewer emotional decisions, and better outcomes. Clarity doesn't just reduce stress, it saves time and money. Now, point number 8, they realize this area fits them or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, that's a win too. Here's something I intentionally build into this channel. This area is not for everyone, and that's a good thing. Some people want big city energy. Some want ultra low cost living. Some want 4 seasons. When buyers realize that this isn't a fit, they haven't failed, but they've succeeded early in realizing that this is not what they want. Filtering is a service. Helping someone confidently choose not to move here is just as valuable as helping someone move here successfully. And buyers like yourself respect that honesty. I'm not here to tell you that this place is perfect, because trust me, this place on the Treasure Coast where I live has flaws. It's perfect for me, and it's perfect for so many others, but it's up to you to make that decision if it's the right fit for you. And by creating these videos, I'm hopefully eliminating some of the things that you want and some of the things that you don't want, and you're able to make a decision based upon your needs. And that leads us to point number 9. They reached out already confident. By the time the buyers reach out, the conversation is completely different. They're not asking, is this area good, or should we move here? They're asking, how do we do this smart? What neighborhoods of these 4 should we focus on? What should our timeline look like? They're already aligned, and they already know for the most part what they want. They just want to make sure that the steps they take are in perfect alignment with what they want. That's what education does. Elevates the conversation from convincing to planning. And that's what I'm all about. Which leads me to the last point, point number 10, why this channel was built this way on purpose. Now listen, I've talked about this before. This channel wasn't built to chase everyone. It was built for people who want real information, honest perspective, and clarity before making a major life decision. If that's you, welcome. If it's not, that's okay too. The goal has always been simple. Help people make better decisions, not faster ones. Because when people understand what they're choosing, they choose confidently. Now, if you're still watching, chances are you're already in the clarity phase. So if you have some questions or want to talk this through, whether this area fits your situation or not, please feel free to reach out. There's no pressure, no pitch, just information. Once again, you guys, my name is Chris Thiel. I'm a local real estate agent here. If you like this video, please think about subscribing so you can learn about all my area and showcase how much I actually love this area and more information for you. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Boom!